So one thing that we love doing is sharing examples of ways that we've been able to create really cool wins for our clients. And so I thought, Bryce, it would be really fun to share the story of our recent clients who just closed this week on their simultaneous purchase and sale.
Yeah, Matt and Erica.
And if we haven't met yet, I'm Stefanie.
And I'm Bryce.
And we are the Lugos at My Home Group Realtors serving the greater Phoenix area. So I'm super excited about this story because these are clients who we actually helped them buy their first home years ago. And so they came to us later last year thinking about what it might look like to sell their home and buy a new one.
Yeah, they want more space, wanting to move into a different area of town where they can get more home for their money. And I think that they reached back out to us a couple months ago to get the process started. And start of the year, we were able to list their house and sell it quick for a lot more than they were expecting to get.
It was really intense, and I know that they were super excited, but we work so often with clients in this situation, and I know that specifically in the Phoenix area, a lot of people who would be selling at this time aren't because they're afraid of like what that process looks like, and a lot of times literally the words we hear are, "Oh, I don't want to become homeless. Like what if I sell my house and then I can't find another one?" So how did we start this process with them to get the ball rolling?
I mean, it's the same thing we do with a lot of our buyers or sellers. Most of our clients, as we get their home prepped, it's the biggest part is making sure that your home is presentable. And they have a 2-year-old, well, not quite, little toddler in the house, small house. So they got lots of stuff in the house, and helping them understand decluttering. Their house is beautiful. So it's not like they had to do a lot for the house, but making sure that it was presentable to buyers that are going to see themselves in the homes. Maybe people that don't have, a little toddler running around. And it's not like you want to get rid of everything and disappear, but just making it look like it could be for anybody.
And I think specifically in this situation when they're going to be needing to sell their home in order to buy the new one. Now we did some things with them creatively with the financing to help make that really achievable. But that doesn't mean you don't pay attention to this part. Like the house has to be prepped really ultimately before you're even writing offers is our philosophy.
I mean, they were able to technically, they could buy non-contingent. They wanted to buy contingent though, in a sense. They wanted to be able to sell their house at the same time. They wanted to take the proceeds and use it for the purchase of their home. But luckily they didn't have to do that in this situation. It's always great if you can be creative with financing, and we can kind of touch on that type of financing in a little bit if you want, because it is helpful to know what they were able to do. But I wish that, even in this market where things are wildly, hot, I wish that more agents would help their sellers prep their home and get it ready for sale, because it's like it turns up 10 times, when you are selling it and you're getting a lot more showings during the week, especially, and then a lot more money as well. And they did. They just real quick, I just want to touch on it because it is kind of crazy. When they started talking to us, and we'll go over the numbers real quick. So we listed at $540 and we sold it for $627,500. So it's $87,500 more than they listed their home for. But when they started talking to us, honestly, Matt thought that they would get maybe $500,000. And it's just what he thought his neighborhood commanded. He's on like a mildly busy street, not super busy, but a mildly busy street that feeds the neighborhood. And, he thought that he'd be lucky to get $500,000. Now, it doesn't help that he was getting calls from like other agents and investors that are telling him that they'll buy his house for this much money, right? That probably was part of it.
Totally bogus information.
Right. You got to watch out for that. Some of it, if it's the right situation for a seller, obviously it's the right situation. But luckily, Matt trusts us, Matt and Erica, and they, reached out and said, "Hey, what can we do to sell this house and get the most for it? I want to see 500. I told him, well, let's see what we can do. A couple months go by, market's appreciating obviously in this market, and we're like, okay, well, maybe 515, 525, but I really think that we could shoot for 550, 560, 575, somewhere up there in this market. And so we settled on a list price of 540. Got tons of activity again because they prepped the house. They did a good job. The photos were incredible.
We have a great photographer,
and that matters, and we'll talk about that a little bit later in another video coming up. But the fact that he helped and his wife got this place ready to go, we were able to get them $627,500, which, when he was starting at maybe 500 and then 515, you're talking well over $100,000 more than he thought that they would get for this home. That's a lot of money.
It is a lot of money when it's a huge transition, right? And so obviously we didn't go straight to the sale after prepping the home, but step number one, prepping the home for sale, making sure it's perfect, is what allows you to take some of the overwhelm and guesswork and make that sale a sure thing when the would-be home buyer, in this instance, when our sellers who wanted to purchase a new home already had a lot of uncertainty with the process. And so I think that being the first step, obviously it procured incredible results for our clients, but it also really helped them feel good about the process and know that piece was taken care of as we started going and writing offers on homes. And that was the second part. So as we were helping them look for homes, of course, so many parts of the valley as a whole are just on fire right now. They're very high demand, lots of competition. And they just happen to have been looking at a place where, it's Chandler. Chandler is ranked as one of the most desirable places to live in the country.
Yeah, well, in this exact neighborhood where this house that we did find him had a school, I think, that Matt was telling, because he was very interested in the schools for his little one, but it was like the top school district in Chandler.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So obviously lots of desirability there, and we had to go write a couple of offers before the right one came up and worked out. Tell me a little bit about the house that they ended up going with while you guys were walking it.
I think that what helped them with this house is, and I don't know if this is completely the reason why, but it was an Airbnb. Okay. And, when a property is an Airbnb and it's for sale at the same time, a lot of times that can be difficult for showings. Limits the amount of buyers that can get into the house because it might be rented out. Mm-hmm. And I don't know what the schedule was for that and why we were able to get it in that sense, honestly. But it had been on the market a couple of weeks. Great home. Looked great. Needed a little TLC here and there. And we were able to get it under contract, actually below list price even. Yeah,
you negotiated quite a bit off. Do you remember specifically what the exact numbers were?
I think we got them. The contract price was $635, and I think it was listed for $650.
Yeah,
I think. But either way, saving some money when they're getting quite a bit more on
their sale.
But we hadn't listed their house yet, right?
Yeah.
So the idea, and we'll touch on the financing now because we talked about it earlier, was we're going to do a 5% down purchase and then recast their loan, which is taking a large sum from the proceeds of their sale after they close on the sale of their home, move it over to the new purchase again after that's closed, and that can remove the PMI and reduce their payment without having to do any sort of refinancing.
Yeah.
So they were planning, so that was the plan, 5% down, be able to carry both because they were capable of doing that, which, it would be a very short period of time because in this market, we're looking to sell their home very quickly. And, that's what we were able to do. But what was actually great, honestly, so we did and this is a cool part about their purchase, was we did a longer escrow. Mm-hmm. It was like 45 days. As soon as we got it under contract, got their home listed for sale, shorter escrow on that one. I think we got that closed in 21 days. So we were able to do a longer escrow, shorter escrow on the sale of their home. And instead of having to do that 5% down in recast now, we were able to close on the sale of their home with a post-possession on that sale. And then they were able to do 20% down, not have to do a recast. The lender was very happy about that because it saved a lot of time. Mm-hmm. Buyers were happy because they didn't have to do anything further, meaning Matt and Erica. It was awesome. And now they're still in their home for 30 days right now because we did get them that post-possession, which allows them to do some of the work on this purchase. Like I was saying, it needs a little bit of TLC, and they're able to do some of the updates that they want to before they move in. It's a huge win for them.
It's so huge. And I just want to recap really quick the steps that we took because
go through it.
Because it's such a cool story, and this is not necessarily unique to these clients. Like you and I, we are uniquely experienced in this kind of situation, which is why we're able to create these types of transformations with our clients, which is so cool.
We're doing the same exact thing with another client right now, Shelby. We've got her under contract to purchase a home, and we just listed her house yesterday. We will close on the sale of her house within the time period of her purchase, and she will be able to take the money, not have to do the recast that she was planning on doing, take 20% down. She's going to get the lease back on the sale of her home, update the new home in 30 days, do the updates that she wants. Yeah, doing it
Yeah.
again right now.
You bet we'll be giving you an update next month on that too, because these are such great, like, I just think these are really inspiring stories for those who might be in this situation. So here's the really quick recap with what we did. We prepped the home for sale and got it totally decluttered and ready for photos. We got the photos done and basically had the listing up in like draft mode in the MLS. So as soon as we had their perfect house under contract, we were ready to take that live. Then we went out searching for homes, wrote a couple of offers until the right one came up, and got that home under contract. So we get their house under contract, and then we went back to their listing and put it in coming soon status, which is specifically only pushed out to realtors who have buyers looking in the MLS, which is why you have to have a realtor as a buyer in this market, side note. And so we were able to sell that in coming soon. We got multiple offers from agents who were looking tirelessly for their clients, and we ended up getting an incredible buyer for their home. And because it was in coming soon status, this is another little like strategy. That is a great incentive for agents to really put their best foot forward, because they know that listing has not been pushed out to the public on places like Zillow yet. And so they know if they want to lock it up, they've got to put good terms in, which is why we got that lease back, which is why we got great pricing for them. All the terms really helped our sellers make this complex process feel completely seamless.
Yeah. I mean, we had a lot of good buyers that unfortunately didn't get that house, and but they were all active and their agents were working hard while it's in coming soon. Again, that you mentioned it earlier. That's why it is really, really helpful to be working with agents directly, because if you're not going to necessarily see what's in coming soon.
Yeah.
Coming soon isn't pushed to these third-party sites.
I agree.
And we were able to get them multiple offers for a lot more money than, again, they thought that they would. And and just something to note is with the strength and terms that were provided to us by the buyer's agent, we didn't have an issue with the appraisal either. You know, they did waive the appraisal contingency. Didn't even matter. It appraised at list price. You know, it was awesome.
Yeah, win all the way around. I think
Yeah.
everybody left that transaction feeling really good and happy about the outcome, and that's what we're in it for. Like, we want everybody to leave every transaction feeling like they won.
Yeah.
And I think that we accomplished that with everybody involved. So congrats to you.
Congrats to us.
Yes.
And to Matt and Erica.
Yes, for
And-
sure.
Yeah.
And the buyer.
Yeah.
Everybody wins.
Yeah,
everybody
won.
gets a congrats.
Yep. Cool.
If you're wondering what this might look like for you, if you've been thinking about selling your home but really don't want to have that like crazy hair-pulling process, definitely reach out to us. There are links in the show notes where you can book a call with us. We'll just hop on a quick phone call, hear about your story, and if it seems like we can help, we'll take it from there.
Until next time, thanks for tuning in.
Bye.
Bye.